Alex Eala has arrived in Birmingham, England, seeded #1 at the Edgbaston Priory Club, setbacks, and the Filipino fans were already there before the tournament even started. This stopped being just a tennis story a long time ago. What's unfolding right now is something professional tennis has genuinely never had to deal with before.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be back and I can't wait to be out on court and I hope to see you there.
Today, June 1st, 2026, the grass court season officially kicks off. And for Alex Eala, it doesn't start at Wimbledon, it starts here at the Lexus Birmingham Open on a WTA 125 stage as the top seed, with a whole lot to prove after a clay season that ended in near total silence. As of the May 25th tour update, Eala's ranking sits at world number 37. That's a step back from the career high of world number 29 she reached on March 16th of this year, when Eala was carrying 1,525 ranking points and looked like she was about to break into a completely different tier of this sport. The clay took something. The numbers moved in the wrong direction. But grass, this is where Eala has historically been at her most dangerous, and the Filipino community making their way to Birmingham right now, they know that better than anyone. Here's what a lot of people are missing about this moment though. This isn't purely about the tennis. What's happening in Birmingham today is really the opening act of something much bigger. And the real question isn't whether Alex Eala can win this week. The question is whether professional tennis as an institution is actually ready for what Eala brings with her every single time she steps on a court. Let's get into the numbers for a second because they tell a very clear story. On hard courts in 2026, Alex Eala went 14 wins and 8 losses, a 63.6% win rate. Solid, consistent. Then came clay, 4 wins, 6 losses. The flat ground strokes, the aggressive return game, the low bounce style that coach Joan Bosch, conditioning coach Luke Bauza, and Alexandro Viane have spent years sharpening at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. None of it clicks on clay the way it does on faster surfaces. Eala knows this, the coaching staff knows this, it's not a secret. But grass is a different conversation entirely. Go back to the 2025 Eastbourne Open, same tournament level as where we are now, a WTA 250 event just down the coast from London. Eala made the final. She pushed all the way to a final set tiebreak before losing to Maya Joint in the championship match. That's not a player who's uncomfortable on this surface. That's a player who nearly took the whole thing. And then there was Wimbledon, 2025. Alex Eala stepped onto center court for the very first time, facing defending champion Barbara Krejcikova, and won the opening set 6-3 against the defending champion. On the most famous tennis court in the world. That set happened. That moment is documented, and every Filipino fan currently making their way toward the Edgbaston Priory Club carries that set with them like a reminder of what's possible.
Eva is such a good friend of mine. We competing against each other as competitors, I think we're very accustomed to it.
But the road to Birmingham wasn't smooth. Not even close. The 2026 French Open in Paris ended in the first round. American world number 17 Iva Jovic, a player described as Eala's friend, defeated Eala 4-6, 2-6, and ended the Roland Garros campaign before it had any real chance to develop. Then came the part that raised a few eyebrows. Eala and Canadian partner Victoria Mboko withdrew from the French Open women's doubles draw before their opening match against Leylah Fernandez and Diana Schneider. No explanation was given publicly. None. That silence matters more than it might seem. Because right now in Birmingham, Eala is restarting the doubles campaign alongside Czech Republic's Nikola Bartunkova, world number 69, against the second-seeded British pairing of Harriet Dart and Mia Lumsden. The singles resets here. The doubles restarts here. Everything begins again today. And the Filipino fans who weren't at Roland Garros, who watched the clay swing play out from a distance, are here now in Birmingham on June 1st, before Wimbledon has even been drawn.
After that, and watch her try to continue to progress, because I like her game. Obviously, She wants to get better than where she is now. She's got a lot of good hand-eye coordination and ability to take the ball early and redirect. But the fan stuff is always fun for me because whenever you see players from smaller countries, the fans are so passionate when they get up to the top.
To really understand what might happen in Birmingham this week, you have to go back to Melbourne, January 2026. Alex Eala made the Australian Open main draw for the first time, a massive milestone for Philippine tennis. Tournament organizers assigned Eala to Court 6, a 1,000-capacity venue described as a party court because of how close it sits to the fan entertainment areas. The Filipino diaspora packed that court well beyond capacity. Hundreds of supporters who had traveled to Melbourne, including members of Eala's own family, couldn't get through the doors. Inside, the crowd noise during rallies and serves got so loud that the umpire had to step in repeatedly. Eala's opponent, American Alicia Parks, filed formal complaints. And here's the detail that really sticks. Former Philippine national team coach Carl Santamaria was physically in that stadium watching it happen, and he broke down exactly what was going wrong. The fans were waiting for the ambient noise to die down before they'd cheer, which makes complete sense. The problem was that the exact moment the noise dropped was the exact moment Eala was tossing the ball up to serve. Their love for her, genuine, patriotic, completely unintentional, was hitting her at the 1 second she needed silence the most. Eala lost that match 6-0, 3-6, 2-6. Santamaria came out afterward and called for education. He asked the community to understand that tennis demands quiet during active play, that it's a different sport to basketball, to boxing, to football. He urged fans to respect the etiquette of what he called a gentleman's sport. And then there's this number. We're sitting quietly in the same account of that day. Alex Eala's pre-match press conference at that Australian Open generated over 180,000 views. 180,000 views for a press conference. That's where it gets genuinely complicated. At the Australian Open, tournament organizers put Eala on a 1,000-seat court while the 5,000-seat KIA Arena was available. At the Italian Open in Rome, the same pattern played out. Smaller venues, outer courts. The crowd Eala was drawing was treated, and this is how it's described, as a logistical problem to be managed or contained. But sit with that 180,000 view press conference figure for a moment. That's not a problem, that's an asset. The Filipino diaspora buying premium tickets, flying across continents, generating digital engagement at a scale that most WTA events don't produce for anyone outside the world's top 5. That community doesn't belong on a 1,000-seat party court. That's a crowd that belongs on the biggest stage available. The same people who caused disruption in Melbourne are the same people making Alex Eala one of the most commercially significant players on tour right now, a player who has accumulated $1,997,574 in career prize money. The disruption and the commercial value aren't separate things. They come from the same source. Tournament directors have so far chosen to respond to one while ignoring the other. Birmingham is the first real test of whether that calculation has changed at all.
Just aside from her talent, she's also thinking of the future.
You know, I've only dreamed of making tennis grow in the Philippines, and now I'm bringing a whole new audience to tennis all around the world.
So when Eala plays, we all get together and we all watch her support her as a group of people.
Are there actual gatherings?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Really? Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's
We plan our dinner.
So the match itself. First round, Lexus Birmingham Open, Alex Eala versus Australian world number 143 Priscilla Hahn. The head-to-head is dead level at 1-1. Eala beat Hahn 6-2, 6-4 at Roehampton back in 2023. Hahn came back and won their most recent meeting in Ningbo, China in 2024, 6-4, 6-3. So this is a genuine tiebreaker. The Birmingham run opens with a match that could go either way, and Eala is walking and carrying the weight of a rough clay season, a first-round Roland Garros exit, and a fan base that's already filling the streets outside the Edgbaston Priory Club before a single ball has been struck. And then there's something else running underneath all of this, something darker. completely separate from the tennis, separate from the crowd debate, a coordinated network of Facebook pages and click farming operations, including entities identified as Tipify LLC, Expedante LLC, Infinite Playlist, and others run from Vietnam, the Philippines, and Bangladesh, has been systematically manufacturing fake stories around Alex Eala's name. Fake sponsorship deals, fake controversies, AI-generated imagery, manufactured outrage, all of it designed to pull clicks from the same passionate fan base that's arriving in Birmingham this week. When Eala was asked about this at a press conference, she said she's fully aware of the fake news. She recognizes it exists, and she recognizes it's completely beyond her control. That kind of composure, aware, grounded, not rattled, is the exact same composure you need to stand on the baseline and serve cleanly while 1,000 people cheer at exactly the wrong moment. The grass court road ahead is mapped out carefully. Birmingham first, then qualifying draws at the HSBC Championships, then Nottingham, then a main draw wildcard at the Bad Homburg Open, where Eala joins Venus Williams and Karolina Muchova, then back to Eastbourne, where she was a finalist last year, and finally, the All-England club, Wimbledon, Alex Eala's own self-professed favorite major. The place where, on center court in 2025, Eala took a set off the defending champion and gave the entire tennis world a glimpse of what this left-handed baseline game looks like when it's firing on a fast, low-bounce surface. The Filipino fans are already in Birmingham. They'll be in Eastbourne. They'll be in the queue outside Wimbledon. Whether Alex Eala brings the crowd is not even a question anymore. The question is, when she finally plays on a court big enough to hold them, will the sport stop calling it a problem? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to follow every match of this grass court run all the way to Wimbledon, you already know what to do.